We live in a time of increased focus on road safety. Car companies touting their new, safer vehicles with side airbags, adaptive cruise control, autonomous stopping. The image being that our town streets are getting safer with new vehicle advancements. But the trend is the complete opposite, and there is one big reason. Ever-growing vehicles along with the move from sedans to trucks and SUVs. One would think that we peaked with vehicle size back in the excess years of the mid-aughts, with the likes of the popular Hummer H2 or the Chevy Trailblazer. But trucks and SUVs have grown steadily for decades now, and not just in length and weight, but in height of the front end. The transformation of the tame slope front ends of just a couple decades ago have become aggressive, flat, and tall bumpers. Not only does this make it more difficult to see people in front of you, it dramatically increases the likelihood of injury and death to people who are hit. In a Wichita State University study analyzing the effects of vehicle size on injuries to people on foot found that large trucks and SUVs were much more likely to cause injuries to vital organs in adults, which are more likely to be fatal or cause expensive hospitalizations. Not to mention how much more likely that children would go under the vehicle instead of over the hood. Going under a vehicle when struck is the worst outcome of a collision for obvious reasons. The best case scenario is being hit in the legs and being sent over a sloped hood, like how sedans and minivans are designed, where a majority of injuries sustained would be to the lower body, as these would be least likely to be fatal or to cause long, expensive hospitalizations. In our most dense towns and cities, black car services are putting luxury SUVs on the roads in droves. Drivers of Uber, Lyft, and private limo services are required to use the most luxurious SUVs, which means the largest. SUVs like the GMC Yukon and the Escalade. On top of the growing size of vehicles, sales of SUVs and trucks have gone up while sedan sales have been going down. Heavy advertising of companies pushing their SUVs as outdoor lifestyle vehicles and trucks as an everyman's multi-use vehicle. And with the more efficient engines and moderate gas prices, there is little concern about fuel costs. But the cost of a human's life and health are never considered. Modifications work with the increasing size of vehicles in insidious ways to make safety even worse, and they are becoming commonplace. A person's vehicle is one of their only large visible assets. It is of little surprise that they are expressing themselves through their car. Showing off as an active outdoorsy person with off-roading mods like lifting, large tires, hitches, and bumper protectors, making a truck look more rugged and capable on trails, but also turning someone's everyday vehicle into a people mulcher, dramatically reducing the survivability of anyone on foot or bike, rolling over them like boulders on a trail. It is also human nature to want to protect something that is valuable to oneself. Vehicles are the main mode of employment for taxi drivers and contractors. These two groups operate most frequently in dense towns and cities, and they install bumper bars to protect their primary asset, transferring any of the damage that would go to their bumper to anything they hit, including people. Everyone on foot pays the safety cost, while the drivers who made it less safe to walk do not. There are two agencies responsible for measuring how safe a vehicle is in an accident. But as you may have guessed, being this far in the video, neither measures the danger of vehicles to pedestrians or cyclists that are regularly hit. There is the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, which is a government-led organization and the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, which is a charitable corporation. Both agencies create safety ratings which impact road design and car sales. NHTSA shows what the National Department of Transportation cares about, and the IAHS shows what the insurance companies care about, car safety, and what they don't, people safety. The IAHS was created in 1959 by insurance agencies, with the main goal to minimize highway accidents, which would have the effect of reducing insurance payouts and avoiding government intrusion into their business. Their only tests involving people on foot are both recent and limited, testing only the autonomous stopping systems of cars and their ability to reduce impacts with people. All save a rant on why autonomous vehicles are not the safety panacea they are being advertised as, but merely comment on how the tests are performed. The vehicle-to-pedestrian test of the IIHS sets autonomous systems up for success. Bright sunny day, good contrast on the person walking, a human dummy that is almost a foot taller than the average adult, and the tested car is going less than 25 miles an hour, which is less than most towns' slow speed limit. On top of all that, an autonomous system can still get a partial pass by hitting a person as long as it reduces the impact speed by at least 5 miles per hour. That's right, a partial success is hitting a person at about 20 miles per hour. So the geometry of the car still matters, even assuming that an autonomous system works every single time, which it won't. There is nothing to say about NHTSA's testing, because they don't have a single pedestrian safety test. The US government does not care about your safety unless you are in a car. Cities, conversely, have tried to take action by setting Vision Zero plans, which look to completely eliminate deaths caused by cars. Though these plans will never succeed with the vehicles on the road, with their front ends getting larger and more rigid. The speeds that would be low enough to be safe are currently politically impossible, and would only go down with more unsafe vehicles on the road. To truly ever reach zero fatalities, a city would need to force the hands of their state's Department of Transportation to buy into a plan where safer cars are encouraged and unsafe cars are discouraged or eliminated. There are a few ways where we can go from here. We can continue doing nothing while people continue to die on the street, or we can move to make vehicles safer. People walking or biking should not be at higher risk of death simply because we as a society don't consider the largest killer of people on the road the front end of a vehicle and the speed at which it hits them. We need to measure the real cost of a car's chance of killing or maiming a person, then ideally make the owner of the vehicle pay it. Plans floated by the current DOT secretary calling on mileage pricing could be a good tool for disincentivizing the dangerous while not banning them. Off-road modded vehicles could still be driven on the road, but at a cost that reflects their danger, hopefully causing people to only use them recreationally, off the road. Contractors and fleet owners would likewise be incentivized to move to smaller trucks or to put pressure on car companies to produce trucks that are cheaper to operate. This could be applied across the board, making the safest vehicles the cheapest to drive per mile. This is only one idea to help solve the issue, but I believe it is the best first step when simply banning something is politically infeasible. Put a comment below where we can discuss what you think is the best way to solve this big truck problem. And if you like what you heard, please give a thumbs up to the video, subscribe, and if you please, buy me a coffee on my Ko-Fi page. Much appreciated, and goodbye for now.